Welcome to LearnWake. This is Brandon Judd responding to a video analysis request uploaded by user pennyplease, and this is on some tantrums. Now, Joel, thanks for uploading this video and for putting this description here. This helps us understand what you're trying to get out of it. Looks like you've been landing these pretty consistently, but then took some time off, and now you're unintentionally rotating a 180 and kind of stalling in the middle of the flip. It looks like you included some correct versions at the beginning for us to compare to, and then your falls come later. So first of all, this is going to be a very quick, very easy analysis request. The solution is very simple. While it may not be the easiest thing for you to implement, it is very simple. And that is that you are the problem that you're experiencing is you're not squaring up at the wake. And what I mean by that is you're leaving two hands on the handle for too long. You're not taking your back hand off the handle. This is a one-handed trick. You're not taking your back hand off the handle quick enough, and then you're not squaring your shoulders up. You're still, like, I can kind of see your chest throughout the whole flip, which makes the takeoff look kind of like a frantrum, which is a cross between a front flip and a tantrum. And what that does is, yes, that will stall you out a little bit because your flipping direction is a little funky. But because you're using your back hand, I can't tell because the video's so far away, but it looks like on some of them you even let go with your front hand in the middle of the trick, which is why you end up landing a switch stance on these. So let's take a look at your correct ones and see why they're functioning. Even in these, you can see there's a tendency to wait too long until you square up. So right here, when you're going to stand tall, you've already taken your back hand completely off the handle. I'd like to see a little bit taller legs here, a little more extension in your legs to stand up really tall. And I shouldn't be able to see your chest that much. I should only see kind of your shoulder, but again, this is the good one. So you take off of the wake pretty clean, come around nice and easy. You can get a lot more pop by straightening your legs at the wake and by squaring up a little earlier. It'll take you more straight up and down. So here's another one. You edge in really nice. I really like that. And then you should already have your back hand off the handle here, but as you can see, there's still two hands on the handle. Then you drop your back hand, and there's a lot of this happening. You're throwing your head and shoulders across the wakes really hard, and this prevents you from getting all the pop that you could get. You want to go up before you go back. So right now, when you're getting most of the pop off the wake, see how you're angled at this angle here that's toward your upper body is leaning toward your landing side. That's going to make you flip low and fast around, which gives you kind of a funky pop. So that's why that is doing that. Now let's move on to your falls, and we'll see how much later the falls are. How much later you wait to square up on these falls. Sorry, tongue-tied here. Alright, so your hand is still two-handed, and you're at a very similar spot that you were when you had already dropped your other hand in the previous ones. I can't tell where your hand was on that, but you'll see when you're getting your pop off the wake, you're also going really early. So that angle is even more exaggerated than the previous ones, and it looks like you kept two hands on the handle for much longer. And again, they continue to get worse and worse, and the reason why is because sometimes when you get stuck in this rut like this, you start to repeat them kind of aggressively so that you can fix the problem. But if you're not sure what the problem is, sometimes you end up ingraining a bad habit in the meantime, and then it becomes harder to get out of that habit. So if you feel like they're just off and they're not working right, abandon them altogether for a little bit, and then go back to some drills later on and let it kind of get out of your head, and then work on those drills to set you up right, and then you can start trying them again. This happens to a lot of people where at first they work perfect, and then they get a weird habit setting in, and then they just seem to go downhill from there. So yeah, there's still two hands on the handle here. You should already be one-handed, and your nose of the board is coming off the wake already, and I don't even know, you might have dropped your hand, I can't really tell here, but I shouldn't be able to see your chest that much. So when you start flipping, you throw your body across the wakes, again at that really aggressive angle. And then in the air, you're pulling against the line a little, and that turns you front side right here. That's why you end up spinning a 180, is because you are relying on the rope to kind of hold you upright. And that's very common. We see that a lot. One way you can get out of that habit is if you start letting go of the rope. Just do like a one-wake tantrum, pop straight up, and as soon as you get in the air, just let go of the rope and get used to not having to rely on it. You really don't even need the rope in the air during this trick. This trick could be a ropeless tantrum. You could let go of the rope completely right here, square up, and do a perfect tantrum, land right away without the handle. You don't need it to function here. So a lot of people feel like they need to rely on some line tension just to feel where they are in the air, and that causes them to pull on the rope and then rotate unintentionally. So that's about it on that part. We can watch a bunch of these and see them all happen. This, I can't tell for sure, but it looks like a two-handed tantrum on this. And then you get kind of spun funny. So let's look at a correct version with Kyle here, and I'll show you what it should look like. So watch when he takes his hand off the handle. So right before he gets to the bottom of the wake, his backhand is already off the handle. And then when he's at his popping point, his chest is kind of facing that way. I'm almost looking down his shoulders here. And then look how upright he is. His chest is almost further away from his landing side than his heels are. So you'll see he's kind of tilted this way towards the takeoff. And where you are more like this. You're angled pretty aggressively here toward your landing side. So that's going to have a lot of effect on your pop. But how he's squaring up is going to affect that 180 and everything. So now he's, I mean, aside from some of the splash there, he's pretty much completely lifted off of the wake. And now he's just barely starting to lean his upper body toward the landing side. So he'll go up and around and then drop out of it nice and comfortably. So that's what we want to get you doing, is focusing on this position right here. We want you to square up, get one-handed nice and early, get really tall, see if you can get your chest above your board instead of your chest aggressively thrown across the wakes. And then I would recommend some backside reentry ollies. So you should be able to do some pops right here at the wake, some ollies right here, and it mimics this feeling. So here's the instructional video for that. It's called Drill Popping Reentry Ollies. And it's taught toward a frontside reentry, but we also teach backside reentries as well in this. So let me kind of zoom forward here. I think we have some. Yeah, here we go. So this is the image you're going to be looking at. So the same process, you just have to mirror it to the other side of the wake. The same process goes on for both sides. But I want you to watch this video and practice some backside reentry ollies. And that is the same position for a tantrum takeoff. As you can see, we have some clips here at the end of this that show you an example. So here's my tantrum, and that popping position is the same position as when we were doing those reentry ollies, the backside version of it, if I can find that spot again. Here we go. So instead of just staying still right here, if I was to travel and throw my momentum across the wakes and stand up tall and look at the sky, this tripping motion would pop me up and trip my board around, so that I would be able to do a full-on tantrum with this same type of pop. That's really all it is it's a reentry pop with some travel, and that sends you into the tantrum. So I would refresh your fundamentals just to remind yourself what it's supposed to feel like, and then I would go back go back to these and try and focus on really squaring your shoulders up. You should get both shoulder blades kind of in line with the rope, and get one-handed, and then don't throw yourself across the wakes. Resist that temptation. It should feel more straight up with a lot of leg push, and that'll take you up and right around. You'll be able to start grabbing this and making it super consistent. So thanks again for uploading the video and for the description as well. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comments, or you can upload another video of yourself working on those backside reentry ollies, or an updated version of your tantrums. Good luck.